everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm here with the part 2 of my video on stress, and the topic for this video is management of stress. So in this video we'll be talking about various techniques to manage stress, to cope with the problems relating stress and some stress buffers. So let's start. So firstly we'll be discussing about coping with stress. What is coping? It is a dynamic situation-specific response to stress. Now we'll be studying about the 3 coping strategies given by Endler and Parker. So the first strategy given by Endler and Parker to cope with stress is task-oriented strategy. So it includes obtaining information about the stressful event and thinking about alternative courses of action and their possible outcomes. Second strategy is emotion-oriented strategy. It involves maintaining hope and controlling one's emotions. And the third strategy is avoidance-oriented strategy. It involves denying or minimizing the seriousness of the situation. So these were the 3 different strategies which can be used to cope with problems causing stress. And yeah, do let me know in the comment section that which strategy do you prefer whenever you are in stress. Yeah, so now we come up to the 2 types of coping responses, how we respond to a problem. First strategy is problem focused. It attacks the problem itself with behaviors designed to gain information to alter the event, beliefs and commitments. Second response is emotion focused. It calls for psychological changes designed primarily to limit the degree of emotional disruption caused by the event with minimal effort to alter the event itself. So now we come up to stress management techniques. First technique is relaxation technique. It is an active skill to reduce the symptoms of stress and decrease the incidence of illness such as high blood pressure, heart diseases, etc. Deep breathing is used along with muscle relaxation to calm the mind and relax the body. So the next technique is meditation. The yogic method of meditation consists of sequence of learned techniques for refocusing our attention that brings about an altered state of consciousness. Third method is biofeedback. It is a procedure to monitor and reduce the physiological symptoms of stress by providing feedback about current physiological activity, and it is often accompanied by relaxation training. So the fourth technique is creative visualization. It is an effective technique for dealing with stress. It is a subjective experience that uses imagery and imagination. Fifth technique is cognitive behavioral techniques. It aims to inoculate people against stress. It replaces negative and irrational thoughts with positive and rational ones. Sixth is exercise. This I feel is really important. It provides an active outlet for physiological arousal experienced in response to stress. Seventh is rational thinking. Many stress-related problems occur as a result of distorted thinking. When we are stressed, we have an inbuilt selective bias to attend to negative thoughts and images from past which affect our perception of present and future. So one should always try to challenge distorted thinking and irrational beliefs, driving out negative anxiety and provoking thoughts, and try making positive statements. Eighth, it is improving relationships. Now this is also really important. The key to sound lasting relation is communication. 3 essential skills of communication are listening to what the other person is saying, expressing how you feel and what you think, and third, accepting the other person's opinions and feelings. Ninth, it is overcoming unhelpful habits such as perfectionism, avoidance, procrastination, etc. These help to cope in short terms but make one more vulnerable to stress. I'll be telling you what these three terms actually mean. Perfectionists, who have to get everything just right. Avoidance, put the issue under the carpet and refuse to accept or face it. And procrastination means putting off what we know we need to do. So now my question to you all is, how do you define positive health? What do you think good health is? So I'll tell you, health is a state of complete physical, mental, social and spiritual well-being and not merely the absence of diseases. Positive health comprises of the following: a healthy body, high quality of personal relationships, a sense of purpose in life, self-regard, mastery of life's tasks, and resilience to stress, trauma, and change. Resilience means maintaining positive adjustment under challenging life conditions. Now we'll talk about some stress buffers. First, diet. A balanced diet can lift one's mood, give more energy, feed muscles, improve circulation, prevent illness, and strengthen immune system and make one feel better to cope with stress in life. Second, being optimistic and not pessimistic. Optimists use more problem-focused strategies and seek advice and help from others. Pessimists ignore the problem or source of stress and use strategies like giving up the goal. So the third one is social stress. This is also really important. It is defined as the existence and availability of people on whom we can rely on, people who let us know that they care about, value and love us. Important. Perceived support, that is quality of social support, is more related to health, while social network, that is quantity of social support, is unrelated to health. Social support is of three types: tangible, emotional and informational. Tangible support refers to the material aid like money, goods and services. Emotional support is the support by family members and friends by reassuring that he/she is loved, valued and cared for. And third is informational support. It involves information given by family and friends about resources and coping strategies during stress. So with this, we come to an end of this video. If you really found this video worth watching, then please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel to get more of such interesting content. See you in the next video. Till then, have a nice time. Stay safe.